Fuck this movie. Fuck every X-Men movie ever. Ever. It makes no sense whatsoever. No linear sense at all. It's just like there's... What makes the most money this time? I know. Oh my god. Okay, let's go through it. Pains me to go through it. And there's not enough time. Oh well, we'll do the best we can. So the basic premise of this movie is there's a new Sentinels. It's set in a non-too-distant future, whatever that is. So these new Sentinels have the ability to metamorphosize into any kind of mutant power ability. Metamorphosize their skin into any kind of mutant ability. For example, if a mutant has extreme control of ice, they turn into fire. If they're going against a Colossus, then their skin turns really like Colossus-like. So death is pretty much inevitable. This is a huge genocide. I mean, it's bad. It's really, really bad. So what the X-Men decide to do is, why don't we time travel? Because that's pretty accessible, right? I mean, don't you travel? I time travel a lot, actually. 2 or 3 times a week. Sometimes more. Anyway. So they gotta find a mutant, of course, that possesses the ability to send people back in time. Which it's actually Kat. Now, Kat was in the 3rd installment of X-Men. She was the one that phases through walls. Where did she get the power to send people back in time? Where did that poof out of? Where did it come from? Why all of a sudden? So it's just things like that. It doesn't make any sense to me. So they find her, and everybody's just like, they don't combat these Sentinels, they just like kind of invade. Whatever. So they get together and say, we gotta send you back 30 years. And like she's like, I can't, because the brain would just be squished. I send people's consciousness back into their old body. I don't send people back in time whole. It's just their conscious. And it's like, okay, let's do that. Well, when I send someone back in time that far, it's gonna just ruin the brain. And Wolverine comes up. I make the most money of this franchise. It should be me. This movie should be about me. And everybody's like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it. So of course it works. So people get behind it because his brain can heal. And the thing I said earlier about this makes no linear sense. Wolverine origins, right? And I do realize you guys came out, directors, you guys came out and said that will have nothing to do with this universe, but I think it does. You know, I think X-Men is definitely on it. I think it was even entitled X-Men Origins Wolverine. So that say that shit didn't happen. It's just insulting. Well, anyways, to the point. The first one, towards the end, to erase his memory, they shot him twice in the magnum. Now, of course, it didn't breach his skull, but it the sheer force pushed all his brain matter to the back of his skull, and then it crawled back up to heal itself. When it healed itself, the memories didn't attack himself. It was just wiping itself clean. So, if his brain's destroyed, it will heal itself, but his memories won't retain. So, following logic, if they did send him back in time, he wouldn't know what to do. He'd just be blank again. So, what the fuck there? This movie's full of holes. Gaping holes. The reason they send him back in time is to stop the capture of Mystique. Now, these new Sentinels can do what they do because they dissected Mystique and harvested all her bone marrow, DNA, hair follicles, skin. Skin was most important. Couple things wrong with that. Mystique's power isn't mimicking powers, it's mimicking imagery, you know? She can't shoot lasers ever as a Cyclops. Her claws will never be as sharp as Wolverine's, and she will never be as psychic as Jean Grey. So these new sentences are what the fuck. Definitely, what the fuck. I'm talking fast, there's a lot of material I gotta cover. So they send Wolverine back in time to stop her from her first assassination, which actually a midget who was pro this new Sentinels, which he had a hard time getting off the ground. But with his assassination, they got it off the ground and they captured Mystique that way. Now, here's the biggest hole. Here's the biggest what the fuck. Here's what makes me not want to watch X-Men movies anymore. If you're caught, killed, and dissected, she was caught, killed, and dissected in the late 70s, according to the Days of Future Past storyline. If she's dead, how is she in any other movies? Don't worry, I'll wait. Can't make sense of it, do you? Can you? You can't. I can't either. Big what the fuck there. Big what the fuck, but they accomplished it. And stop sending apocalypse from happening. Let's go over some more things now. Hank McCoy. Let's talk about that guy. He develops a serum that allows Professor X to walk again. And then he tells not another soul. If you synthesize a serum that gives people the ability to walk, why wouldn't you market it? Why wouldn't you help other people's lives? He's a dick of the movie. The award for the biggest dick goes to Hank McCoy. Let's not even explore how good this would have been for people. Let's look at it from a total financial kind of way. If he say he charged up the ass for this procedure, he probably could have made enough money to buy the Sentinel contract and then mothball it. But he did not. I don't know how they just got underneath everybody's radar. Didn't mind though. I was thinking about that. Also, about Mystique, to circle back. It bothers me that her vagina's webbed. I don't get it. And it doesn't come from like the preferred place. She needs a poop and pee. You know? That girl, all girls need a poop shoot. You know? Behold this from the neck down. Sounds like a certain horrible kind of hell. Let's see what else. Ooh. So he accomplished it, you know, gets it done. And he gets it back to his own time, wakes up in his own bed to the same music. He has great hair. Now, this is the biggest, not the biggest, but this is another point of what the fuck, WTF. How does a guy who hasn't aged for a century, maybe a century and a half, is the only one who shows signs of aging when in the future? Jean Grey, Scott, and Professor X look fucking brand new. Wolverine aged, he's the only one. Trying to hurt you guys. So let's talk about ways they could have made it better. Now, the one thing that got correct in my eyes when I'm watching it is the time frame, the decade that they eliminated. It could just be me, but when I think of X-Men, I think of late 70s, early 80s. I don't know why it's associated, but I associate X-Men with MTV. You know, Pac-Man, Walkmans. Remember Julie? She was always walking around with a Walkman. So I think modern X-Men, I don't know. I think if you have modern X-Men, you need to have more new characters, but this retro X-Men, this is fucking awesome. I love retro X-Men. Remember the cartoon we used to watch with kids? That's what I want to see. Also, what I want to see is more individualism in uniforms. Definitely. I mean, I get it, they're all black, but think about Amazing Spider-Man 1, right? His suit got fucked up as the story went on, and black is cool, but it's very bland. I think if you give them more individualism, it gives a uniform character. Another element to that to your film, and people love that. I love that. Battle scarred shit is the shit, you know? Why don't they have pockets? Utility belts. I don't care how powerful you are as a mutant, you're gonna need a flashlight. Or a Phillips screwdriver. Or a flare, sometimes. So just think about it. What makes sense? And then do it. Sticking in the late 70s or the 80s, definitely. More antagonists, different antagonists. There's a certain pattern that I've noticed in the movies, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but the basic stream of the X-Men movies are Magneto and X-Men are enemies. Now they're friends, now they're enemies, now they're frenemies, now they're enemies, now they're friends. It's fucking boring, but it sells. Just because it's profitable doesn't mean it's good. It means you have to reinvent the series over again in 3-4 years. And this is a reboot. Don't get mistaken. To fuck up the time stream is a reboot, like they did with Star Trek, which I'm totally fine. I love a new Star Trek. But I guess we'll do that review later. That'd be a great review. Okay. Alright, as usual, please comment below what you want to see next. Yeah, guys, thanks to you for watching. Thank you for viewing. Alright, as usual. I need to sign off. Yeah. What do you think? Take it easy.